Hello and welcome. This short recording will be on the history of lean. The contents of the recording will cover manufacturing methods, development of lean, Toyota production system, and a short recap. So when we're looking at the manufacturing methods, we will look at standard and interchangeable parts, mass production, and the development of lean based on these two key aspects. So, looking at manufacturing methods, before in the 1600s and until probably mid 1800s, most items, most things were developed were bespoke. All parts were bespoke for bits of different items of equipment. Eli and Whitney in the late 1700s, early 1800s, an American inventor developed the concept of the standard parts. There's a short video there that you can watch that details actually the original idea was coined in France, but then transferred from France to America, where Eli developed it into an actual process, and it was really about standard and interchangeable parts for developing the musket gun. If you can imagine, before that, if you broke something, or if you had a musket that broke, and although you had two other muskets that broke in different locations, different spots, you couldn't take one part from one and one part from the other and actually get one gun that actually worked. They were all bespoke, so there was nothing interchangeable or standard about it. So the whole concept of having standard parts and interchangeable parts massively increased the productivity within manufacturing, and America was first really to implement that, and that really put them ahead, and still has put them ahead as one of being a major manufacturing or country. Based on that, we have the next method was mass production. So we had interchangeable parts, and we have mass production, and that really was building in the 1800s when Henry Ford, the founder of the Ford Motor Company, established the assembly line and mass production for the development of the Model T car. There's a short recording up there on the right hand side that it provides more detail about Henry Ford and how he actually developed the assembly line and came up with the idea. But in short, it was really Henry Ford's idea was he wanted to reduce the cost of the Model T car so more people could buy it and make it a lot more affordable. So he wanted to speed up the assembly process, make the car more cheaper, sell more cars, and that then itself will drive down the costs. One Achilles heel of the Model T assembly line, or Ford's assembly line, it worked very well, but it could not bring in customers' demands or the actual variability or flexibility in the assembly line itself, and that was I suppose a real stumbling Achilles heel to the whole mass production system. And on the back of that, there was Taichi Ono from who's developed the Toyota production system. Toyota employees came in the late 1800s, early 1900s to look at how Henry Ford was developing the mass production system, and then they realised that actually that they could maybe, what was there was very good, but they could improve on it. And the biggest item that they developed on improving was bringing in flexibility into the assembly line. And then they started looking at the assembly line and how they could reduce waste and how they could manage supply chain management, and that really developed the whole Toyota lean. Developed flexibility is needed to meet the customer's needs. And you can see that a video about Taichi Ono and how that Toyota production system was developed. The Toyota production system has a whole range of different what we would call lean tools to eliminate waste and promote best practice. Always looking with the customer at the center of it, and developing high standards of work, and this process for continuous improvement. You can, on this slide you can see a kind of a building type structure, but it all starts on standardized work and developing. These are some key tools that we will look at in a little bit more detail during the number of different modules going forward. A lot of this information, so the machine that changed the world, it's a book, but a lot of this information was very well known supposedly within the automotive industry. However, this book published, which is a review of automotive industry, which was developed by James Womack and his co-authors, that actually went and assessed a whole range of different car manufacturing industries across the world, and actually detailed who was doing what, how well were they doing it, and how can the Europe and the Americans get better at doing what the Japanese companies were doing. And they detailed all these kind of processes that Taiichi Uno and the Toyota production system had developed, and they kind of published it. And a lot of that is other industries picked up and looked at this information and decided, oh, that's a very good bit of information, we can try to do that in our own industry. So today Toyota is the leading lean exemplar in the world. There's hundreds of books and papers printed on the Toyota production system, and we're looking at it as transforming construction through lean principles, and it's all about trying to eliminate waste and add value from the customer's perspective. Just to recap, we have mass production, which Henry Ford, with bespoke parts, interchangeable parts, and then the development of lean in the 1940s, and how that then is in towards the late 1970s, 80s, and how that's developing into lean construction. So thank you very much for listening.